Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse for the Sega Genesis as emulated by the Retron 5, which February 12th, 2016, when I'm uploading this, GameStop's about to start selling the Retron 5. Finally. The composer for this, Shigenori Kamiya. I can't pronounce Japanese names. That's the best I can do. This guy just kind of vanished. He didn't do much in terms of composing, and he had a Kamiya Studios, as I think this game was credited as. Absolutely phenomenal music, and like he did this game and then just vanished off the face of the earth. Nobody that I know of that's a retro gamer can find out anything about this guy. It's really sad. This game was directed by Emiko Yamamoto, who's a very interesting figure because she went on she works for Disney. She went on to produce the this looks good. The Kingdom Hearts games. She still works for Disney Interactive. I don't know if she's, she might be working on Disney Infinity, in fact. So this game came out November 1990, and this is a game that was unbelievable. An absolutely amazing game when it came out. And even still to this day, I mean, if you look at the colors on the Genesis here, the Genesis can only display 64 colors, but man, this game is so great. What's really strange about this is that World of Illusion was such a drop-off from this game. It wasn't nearly as good as this one, but it's kind of worn on me a little bit. Oh, come on. Although the Kamiya, who did the music for this one, actually did the World of Illusion music as well. But this game is just, it's absolutely a phenomenal game. It's a game that at any time you can just sit down and pick up and play, and it's always good. The one complaint I have about this game is the throwing animation. Just not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of how you kind of have to wait for him to wind up when he's on the ground, but when he's jumping, he can throw it instantly, and I'm doing a bad job. I'm gonna get... Oh, well... Guess I'm not killing that plant. The big thing about this game was the animation. I mean, just something like the grass making the hearts right there, and Mickey's idle animation. We just didn't see a lot of that back in the day, and this was the game that, at this point, the Super Nintendo was starting to make Sega sweat a little bit. Ow. There's a secret to one of these where you can fall through and get an extra life, but I'm not gonna... Oh, I actually died in level 1. Ouch. Okay. That was rough. Let's try not to do that ever again. Well, the Super Nintendo was starting to make Sega sweat a little bit, and this was a game that it really brought him back. It got him to where people said, oh wow, maybe the Super Nintendo, or maybe the Genesis is going to be able to compete. There's the extra life. I thought I was in one of those other holes. With the Super Nintendo, here's the apple part where the apple chases me. This part's a little bit tricky. You gotta time the jump. No, I guess I could have just fallen in the hole. I don't know why I jumped there. This is like one of the levels I don't like. There's something about this level that induces vertigo for me. I don't know what it is. And you have to be careful with this level, because sometimes you jump too high and that happens and you're not sure where the ground is. Getting close to the first boss. It's interesting, so I got this game. I had this game as a kid. Oh, don't get me. Don't know why I didn't just jump up and kill it. And I reacquired it a couple years ago from Goodwill. On eBay, they were selling it on eBay, and this part's cool. The start of this music, where it starts off similar to the first level, and then it turns into this, basically the forest is haunted, essentially. Most of the level design in this game is exceptional, but this part's kind of obnoxious, having to jump on the ghosts' heads and having to hit that jump. There we go. But the music is absolutely amazing right here. This is incredible music. It's all great music, but especially this. Oh, and I didn't do it. Oh well. No, I'm not sure. I think this is a dead end, actually. I think I'm gonna have to jump on some ghosts' heads. Shortcut? Nope. The amazing sound effect of Mickey hitting his head. Respawning enemies. Okay, let's figure out how to get back up there. But I had this game as a kid, and I got it from Goodwill. And I actually got it for free, believe it or not, because Goodwill gave it a very high mark. They had it listed as very good and complete. And there's kind of a rip on the spine art the cartridge was written on, and there's no manual, so I'm like, I paid, I think, 23 bucks for it, which at the time, I don't know if it's gone up since then, it may have, and this was a couple years ago, and games have gotten a little bit nuts since then, but, you know, that was pretty much retail, and I was like, look, I'll pay retail for a mint copy, which is what I was led to believe. They never do pictures for any of their stuff. And I filed a complaint with PayPal, or with eBay, I guess it was, and Goodwill never replied back, so eventually, I hope this is the right way. There we go. There was some stuff over there, but I don't care. So I got it for free, so that was nice. I still need to get a good quality version of it, though. I just feel like I do. And the acorns are going to fall, and you miss the acorns, and then you jump on this guy. It's a pretty cool little boss. They did an HD remake, or yeah, remake, I guess you'd call it, of this. I played through it on the PC, and there's one thing that bugs me to death about the remake. The remake's not that bad. I didn't think it was horrible. I think there were it had some redeeming qualities, but the music in, I think it's the Babes in Toyland type of level, which is coming up. They used one of the wrong chords. It's supposed to be a minor chord. Actually, it kind of sounds almost like a diminished chord. And they use a major chord, and it just bugs the hell out of me. I'd have to do side-by-side comparisons, which I might do one day, but it drives me insane. So the first door is cleared, and now on to door number 2, which this is probably my least favorite level. I love the music, but all the music's good. But I just find it to be kind of a dull. Oh yeah, so you gotta go to the top. It is kind of cool when you're running back down. But this just feels kind of dull. And the jack-in-the-boxes are a pain in the ass. But it's interesting, when I reacquired this game, I hadn't played it. Like, I'd probably played it on an emulator, but I probably didn't play through it. It was interesting, the first time I played it, I beat the game. I couldn't believe it. It made me wonder, is that from just years and years and years of having played this game as a kid, or was I just a lousy gamer when I was a kid? I kind of wonder about that, because I don't think I'm good right now. For example, the most difficult game I ever beat was Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, which, you know, that's a very difficult game. It's got nothing on Battletoads, and, you know, something like Silver Surfer, which is just a cheap game that's just total BS. But beating Ghosts and Goblins both playthroughs, especially when you get to that last castle level, which looks like something out of Mario Maker, where it looks like somebody just took everything horrible that they could find that was available to them in the map editor and throw it into the level. To have to do that twice is a freaking nightmare. So that's without question the toughest game I've ever beaten. And I couldn't do that as an adult. There's no way I could beat Ghosts and Goblins both playthroughs as an adult. Though I would love, now that I've got the Capcom Classics Volumes 1 and 2 on the original Xbox, I would actually really love to try to do it. I can't even get to the Blue Cave, which is when the game just becomes insanely difficult. That's one of my goals before I'm dust, beating Ghosts and Goblins, the arcade version. I just don't know if I have the patience, because it's obviously more difficult than the NES version. I actually think the second playthrough on the NES version is very similar to the arcade edition. The zombies move quicker. And you know what sucks about this part right here? If you're not quick... Oh no. Oh. I actually forgot. I thought the door would close if you weren't quick enough. It's just you don't get the diamonds. This is just such a good game. It's just it's a calming game. You know, when you think about the difficulty of of retro games, and the reason why retro games are difficult is because they didn't have a lot of space on those cartridges. They couldn't put a lot of content in there. They couldn't put hours of content like you can today. So a game needed to last a while. So to make a game last a while, they made it insanely difficult. And nowadays, I can't even believe that I would tolerate some of these games, the difficulties of some of these games. I mentioned Ghosts and Goblins and how difficult it was. I actually beat Battletoads on Rare Replay. Now, don't get me wrong, they have, like, you can hold down, I think, the left trigger to rewind the game at any point and go back a few seconds. I still could barely beat it. There were times when I thought I was completely stuck and I wasn't going to be able to do it. That game, I don't know if there's a human on the planet that's legitimately beaten that game. I've heard of some people that have. Some of them are incredibly talented gamers. Thor Ackerlund has said that he's beaten it, and I believe him. He's like the only guy I think I would ever believe, because, I mean, this is a guy that's done something in Tetris, reaching a level in Tetris that no one's really ever gotten close to reaching, and I've seen the video of it. It's just unbelievable. These clowns are, you can shoot them with a ball and then their unicycle comes after you. But this is just one of those games that's very incredibly casual. Just sit down and pick it up and play it, and it's fun every time. Oh. There's also an easy mode. One of the cool things about this is that there's actually an easy mode, which, what easy mode does is it truncates the game, makes the game shorter. You see, at this point, by this level, this is the one that's pure side-scrolling. You're kind of tired. Oh, the flipping is really neat. I forgot about the flipping. Oh, it makes it tricky, though. I'm going to try not to flip this too much. Let's just keep it this way if we can. Flipping is mostly used for getting a couple of bonus items. But you don't get the full ending if you beat it on easy mode. Not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, but it is cool that they have that easy mode option. I think that's a really cool concept. And again, it basically just shortens the game for you. It makes me wonder how long, because this is an easy game, it really is. How long did it take me to beat this game as a kid? Did I beat it in like 2 or 3 days? The shortest amount of time I could remember ever beating a game was Rygar. I got that game for my birthday, and I beat it 2 days later. Rygar wasn't an incredibly difficult game, but it was an adventure game. It was a Metroidvania style of game. So I guess it was a little bit surprising that I played it that much, really, to beat it, because you end up going in circles a lot. It's an amazing game, and then I took it back, and I can't remember what I got in its place, but I do remember it was something that wasn't nearly as good as Rygar, but I was probably never going to play Rygar again. Alright, the boss. Isn't it like it's like a jack-in-the-box type of thing that punches you. I'm not... I don't remember how to beat this guy, so I'm just gonna... I know he shoots out his fist, and I should have... Ah, springs to reach him, okay. This reminds me of a Clockwork Knight boss. Oh, I can't believe I stood up there. I've only got 1 health left, so I gotta be a little bit careful here, because I gotta hit him a few more times. It's gonna be very disappointing if he kills me. That time he did 3 jumps. I think it's 5 hits on this guy. I'm not gonna take any chances. Just don't want to replay this section. This is one of my least favorite sections. Yay, he's dead. Now a crystal. Always collecting crystals. This is one of the games that had an old Casio keyboard that I would sit down and play tracks and try to learn the melodies and the harmonies on my keyboard. I didn't have a good ear for music back then. Now I could do it. I've played music for so long and learned to play piano and everything. Now I could do it. This is probably my favorite track in the whole goddamn game. Fortunately, I don't remember which hole you're supposed to fall into. I think it's this section. Those bats creep me out because I think they have human faces, or at least they look like they do. This is one and the Aladdin Genesis game from Virgin because it had all the music from... I'm gonna try this one. Nope, it's not that one. I think I've already passed it. There's one that... I'm gonna try this one. There's one that takes you to the exit. It's not that one. Ugh. It's been a while. It's been a while. And the parallax scrolling this with the auto scroll. I mean, look at those clouds. Oh my god, look at that. That's maybe 5 colors, but it's unbelievable. It's so beautiful. So, is this the one? I think I've already passed it. I don't think it's the bridge that falls, because if it was the bridge that falls, you'd accidentally run into it. I'm gonna try this one. I think it's this one. It is. I wasn't too far off. And to get this music. Now this section sucks. The water effect is really cool right there. I can't believe I let those bats hit me. That bat hit me. I don't like this part of the game. There's some very narrow jumps coming up, which are pretty obnoxious, if I'm remembering correctly. We've got a couple layers of parallax scrolling. I don't think that one should have even hit me, but that's okay. It should basically be in butt squish mode. And I knew that was going to happen. That's like a Tecmo Ninja Gaiden trick. Well, I get all my health back, so try a little bit more here before shutting down. So I'm doing these live reviews, these Retron 5 live reviews. Really, the Retron 5 doesn't have anything to do with it. I just want to say that, you know, I have the original versions of these games. I'm not going to play them on an emulator, an illegal ROM. Not that I have anything against that. I feel like if a publisher's no longer selling a game, I think it should be completely free. When I developed games, when I stopped supporting them and stopped selling them, I told people, pirate it all you want. With the MMOs I did, the first online MMOs, I said, here's the server software, take it. Oh, see, this is one of those ridiculous jumps. That's not too bad, actually. Wait, where am I going? I think I'm going down. And that waterfall's coming back, isn't it? So here's the part that sucks. I mean, come on. You got a great game here. You don't have to belittle it with that. Mickey's a little slippery, too. He's not the most fleet of foot. I'm not sure that's the right term to use there, but... Is that... I guess the waterfalls only come once. I thought they'd keep coming. That part, I hate when that happens, and I'm afraid that the waterfall's coming up. Look at this. It's just so nerve-wracking. You just know there's a waterfall coming. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna make it. That's horrible. It's just awful. It's probably the hardest part of the entire game. Oh, I forget what happened. Okay, so the water... Oh, yeah, you just gotta be quick, so the water will pull you back. I don't think I went fast enough. I did. Okay. Oh, because he throws like an old man. If you go too fast... Ah, see, it can pull you back even if you go too fast. More little nubs to jump on. Though I guess I don't have to jump on those. I think this is the last stretch here. Maybe not. This boss, I think it's like a head that, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a totem type of thing. I think it shoots out the bottom one or something. Oh, you got these frog dudes. Oh, yeah, he knocks them out. That's right. Ah! Landed right on my damn head. I remember how to get this guy. So you move back, he's going to land right where you were, and that was stupid of me. I might actually die. This boss might actually kill me. Oh, that was close. Just strange boss, but a fun boss. So as far as scoring this game, given all these games reviews, this was a game that was pretty much 9s across the board back in the day. You have to sort of you grade on a curve. I mean, you can't sit there and say, you know, this was such a golden age of gaming. So was the NES. This was I don't know that the age, to me, it sort of ended when we went to discs, because everybody was doing a lot of, well, we were having a lot of full motion video stuff because people were excited about it. It was something new. And this is an amazing section. I love this, the whole tiny Mickey stuff. This is really awesome. Those worms, I love those worms. And the music, of course, the music. But I felt like this was such a great era. And yet, you know, we were still figuring out gaming back then. They were still trying to figure out how the hell do you make great games. And so there's going to be elements that this doesn't make a lot of sense, because you actually have the first layer of parallax scrolling moves faster than the foreground, so doesn't make a lot of sense. There's actually in Streets of Rage 2, there's a section where the foreground, there's actually a layer of parallax scrolling in the front that moves slower than your layer. Oh no. Oh, okay. So, kind of bizarre. But you can grade on a curve and say, well, you know, back then this was acceptable or that was acceptable. But this is a game that, in all honesty, there's really, outside of the standing throwing animation, the fact that it slows you down a little bit, that's something that would be such a minor flaw today. If that's the only thing I have to complain about, that's really not much to complain about at all. Kind of weird that you get a crystal right there, and then you go back. Kind of strange how they did that. It makes you wonder why. This is a cool section when you grab the lamp, the light goes off. That was very cool. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh my god, what just happened? I can't believe that. And again, like, today's gamers, they're not going to understand, and I'm not saying it is to belittle. Oh my god, I'm horrible. I'm not saying that to belittle them. It's just the first time I ever saw The Legend of Zelda, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But today's gamer wouldn't have that feeling. And I'm trying to figure out why we had that feeling back then, because Zelda was... I am just really struggling right here. I'd like to blame it on talking, but I'm just not getting a jump on this for some reason. There we go. Well, there's not another one. Yeah, so much of this game is just so great. How am I gonna get this dude? I have a... Oh, this... Oh, are you kidding me? That's completely my fault. Oh, the books. I remember the books. Ah, he still got me. I'm dead. I'm actually dead. I stood up, I wasn't paying attention, and the book got me. Well, this is as good a time as any to shut down the Castle of Illusion. I'm going to shut off the video, but I'm going to keep playing it and keep it... Oh my god, you have got to be kidding me. No, I'm shutting it off. Well, before I go, scoring this game is an easy one. This is an easy 9 out of 10. This is one of the best Sega Genesis games. This is... It may not be a masterpiece, but it is a great game, and it's some of the most fun you can have playing a Sega Genesis. It's still pretty affordable. Don't know how long that's going to last. If you can find it, especially if you can find it complete, because it's got beautiful artwork and a great manual, get it loose. Play it on an emulator if you have to. One of the best games ever made, no question.